Hello everyone, Neil Tappin here from Golf Monthly, and welcome to this video in which we're counting down the 12 most stupid mistakes that golfers make. Guys, if you're new to the Golf Monthly channel, please do hit the subscribe button to make sure that you don't miss any of our videos. Hit the like button if you like what you're watching, and also leave comments below. Have we missed anything? Are there any stupid mistakes that you've made or you've seen made out on the golf course that we haven't listed here? Please do leave comments below. We'd be interested to hear your thoughts. But let's head out now onto the golf course here at West Hill and start by looking at the first on our list, which relates to finding the right yardage on the fairway. Okay, so the first one on my list relates to the yardages that you get from sprinkler heads. Very, very useful. We get them at most golf clubs now. We'll have yardages on the sprinkler heads, but the question is, where are those yardages to? How often have you gone out onto the golf course, started playing golf, taken a yardage from a sprinkler head, and then thought to yourself, is that to the middle or to the front of the green? It's a question you need to ask yourself and find out the answer to before you go and play. So here at West Hill, yardages on the sprinkler head, I know that the yardages actually here are to the middle of the green. So if I just give the laser rangefinder a go, the sprinkler is telling me it's 156, the laser is telling me it's 146. And actually, you know, there's a big difference there. If I was playing 156 as being the front of the green, I might have just automatically gone with that yardage, added a few to it to get to the flag, and then I'd have completely the wrong club. But I know the flag is 146, so I'm gonna hit a 9-iron. Okay, so this is a typical score wrecking position for a lot of amateurs. Now, in order to get your ball close to the flag from a position like this, you need to pitch your ball about here to let it trickle down to the flag. Now, that's fine if you're one of the best players in the world, you're playing out on tour, but if you're not, if you're a typical amateur golfer, then perhaps you should just be a little bit more safe with your recovery shot. You short-sided yourself, don't get too cute with the recovery shot, just play past the flag. And you never know, you might just hold the putt back for a par anyway. Okay, so third hole here at West Hill. I've hit my second shot into this annoying little stream that runs just short of the green here, and I now need to take a drop. So I'm just going to keep the flag on line with me, just go back a little bit and take a drop there. Perfect. Apart from a few things, firstly, I've dropped it into a divot. Secondly, there's just mud underneath where I've dropped it. Thirdly, I've got about 70 yards to go to the flag, so it's a horrible yardage from a horrible lie. It's also a downslope. So there are times, and we all do it from time to time, where you just need to think a little bit harder about where you're dropping the ball when you have to take a drop. It can actually make a big difference. It's hard to do sometimes when you're a bit annoyed and the red mist is descending, but you need to think a little bit harder about where you're dropping it, because this is a fairly stupid place to drop the ball. Right, I'm gonna give it a go. Well, I'd be quite pleased with that. It's just short of the green, which is no good from 70 yards, but given where I dropped it, I'll take it. Mark and wait. It really is the oldest lesson in the book. It's one of the first things you ever get told when you first start playing golf. When you miss a putt and you knock it up to close range, mark it, take a little bit of a moment, then tap it in. Don't do what I've just done there. It is possibly the most stupid of all the mistakes you can make. If you're playing uphill, don't forget to add on a little bit of extra yardage. It's amazing how often when you play uphill, you come up short, myself included. You just need to remember it. It's so easy, you zap the yardage. For instance, this scenario here, I've got 181 yards. It's very easy to play to 181 yards without remembering. You need to add a little bit more on. I'm gonna take an extra club, I'm gonna hit a 5-iron instead of a 6-iron, and I'm sure there's somebody out there, if there is, please do leave a comment below, who will give you a much more scientific calculation of how much extra yardage you need to add on. But for now, just remember, add a few extra yards whenever you play uphill. The next one on my list relates to your scorecard, and in particular which hole you tee off on the first. Now sometimes you'll be in a competition and you'll tee off from a hole that is not the first tee, and in that scenario make sure you make a mental note and don't fill out your scorecard as if you have teed off the first, because you're going to make a mistake and you're going to end up having to throw your scorecard away, which is going to cause untold confusion when you get back to the clubhouse at the end of the round. You're going to have to remember what everyone shot in your group. You're going to have to fill out the whole scorecard from scratch, not knowing what the stroke indexes are, etc, etc, etc. So if you've teed off from a hole that isn't the first, make a mental note and start the scorecard from that hole. Don't start it from the first. Next on my list is overestimating how far you hit the ball. It's something that so many golfers do, and I think there are probably two reasons for that. Firstly, a bit of ego. People don't like to concede that maybe they don't hit the ball as far as they used to, or they think they do. And secondly, because when you're practicing on the range, hitting shot after shot after shot from the perfect lie from a mat, you get an appreciation for how far you hit the ball that actually might not be the truth when you're out on the golf course. Now this is the 7th hole here at West Hill. It's slightly into the wind, it's also slightly uphill. I've come up short here a lot of the time. I'm just going to zap it to get a yardage with my Bushnell. It's saying it's 173. Now I know from experience here that I'm often short on this hole. So 170 is usually a 7-iron for me. I'm going to hit 6, and that should be enough club to get me up onto the green comfortably so that I'm putting. And frankly, it doesn't matter what club you hit. No one really cares what club you hit. The only thing that people really care about is how many shots it takes you to get around the golf course, and even then, they're probably more concerned with how many shots it takes them than how many shots it takes you. Don't worry, if you have to pull off a head cover, go for it. The only thing that really counts is whether you're up there, whether you're pin high, versus what club you've actually hit. Okay, so the next one on my list relates to fairway bunkers, and I'm pretty sure you know what I'm about to tell you, which is if you are in a fairway bunker, try not to get too greedy. We've all been in this sort of situation where you've gone for the green, you've fired one into the face, the ball then spins up and lands back in its original or in the divot mark, or it plugs into the bunker. It's just so demoralising when that happens. It's a slightly stupid mistake as well, because you know what the dangers are. So if you can, maybe just try and splash out, take it from there, take your medicine and play on. I've got 110 yards from here. I'm quite a long way up the bunker. If I was in a medal, again, I'd probably take this on and I'd probably regret it. Let's see. Ooh, blimey. Yeah, and that's a pretty good example of why not to do it, because not only have I hit it into the face, it's gone up, it's spun off to the right, and it's ended up in the header on the right hand side. So now I'm very much looking at a double, if I'm lucky, probably a triple bogey. Layup means layup. It's possibly the simplest piece of advice in golf, but it's amazing how often we get this wrong. So if you are going to lay up on a hole, for instance like this, is 250 yards into the green, it's par 5, I'm not going to reach, so I'm going to lay up. But the amount of times I find myself in that little bunker up on the right hand side here is unbelievable, and it's so annoying. By laying up with, for instance, a 7-iron, it's the first one I'm going to hit here. By hitting a 7-iron here, I'm bringing that bunker up the right hand side into play. I'm going to hit a shot with it now. Now that's at that bunker, and I can guarantee you that's going to go in it. Yep, straight in it. Instead, by hitting a wedge, I can hit this as hard as I like. I'm not going to get there, but equally I'm not going to be too far short of it because it's so downhill. I can sort of be quite aggressive with the wedge and go for it. I've even pushed that, so that's straight at that bunker, and it's going to feed in towards it, but I know I can't get there, and it's just sort of laid up nicely short of it. Absolutely fine. I realise this particular part of the video is as much advice to myself as it is to anybody. Next time I come and play West Hill, I need to remember this part of this video. But it's very true to say it's the simplest advice in the game. A layup means layup. Don't make a silly error by either hitting it in the rough or hitting it in a stupid bunker that you need to avoid. Okay, so next on my list of stupid mistakes, and it's a mistake that we all make, and even pros at the very top of the game will do this from time to time. It's when you become so focused on the line of a putt. You're reading it from every angle, you're really into the detail, you then hit the putt and you forget all about the pace. It's something we all do, and I'm sure you're going to do it even though I'm talking about it now. But the next time you go out to play, think not only about the line, but the pace as well. The next one on my list relates to over-ambitious escape shots. We've all done it, we've all tried to pull off a shot, a miracle shot that we can't really do. This one is a really good example of that. I've got over 200 yards to the flag here, well over 200 yards. There's a stream that runs out in short of the green. Taking this on and going for it, not only am I bringing this tree into play and the trees up on the right hand side or the heather on the left hand side depending on which way I go, I'm also I'll have to hit a really good shot just to avoid that little stream. It's a no-brainer, you've got to chip out from a position like this, but how many of you watching this would go for this shot? I must admit, I would be tempted. Right, I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to go up the right hand side. And I've missed everything. I've missed the water, and I've run up the left-hand side, just short of the bushes on the left. I've been incredibly lucky there for very little gain. Hitting the ball with your practice swing really isn't a great look. It's something I think probably most of us have done at least once, even if it was only a chip shot. Ball's likely to, in that scenario, end up in a bush. It's not a great look, so give it a miss. So there you have it. Those were our 12 most stupid mistakes golfers make. How many have you made? Please do let us know. Leave comments below. Have we missed anything out? Let us know your thoughts. We'd be really interested. Also, hit the like button if you've liked the video, and make sure that you subscribe if you haven't already done so to make sure that you don't miss out on any of the Golf Monthly videos. Guys, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.